There's a killer living inside your head, and it knows exactly how to destroy everything you've ever worked for. Right now, as you listen to these words, this invisible assassin is studying your dreams, cataloging your fears, and preparing its next strike. It doesn't use weapons or leave fingerprints. Instead, it uses your own hands to tear apart the life you're trying to build. This killer has a name. Psychologists call it self-sabotage. But that clinical term barely captures the sinister nature of what's really happening inside your mind. Picture this. You're standing at the threshold of everything you've ever wanted. The promotion is within reach. The relationship is blossoming. The creative project is nearly complete. And then, as if possessed by some malevolent force, you do something inexplicable. You miss the crucial meeting. You pick a fight with your partner. You delete months of work. You watch your dreams crumble. And the most terrifying part is that you were the one holding the sledgehammer. This isn't weakness. This isn't lack of willpower. This is something far more mysterious and far more dangerous. Deep in the archives of your unconscious mind, there's a boardroom where your deepest fears hold emergency meetings. They've been studying you since childhood, taking notes on every criticism, every disappointment, every moment you felt unworthy or unsafe. They've built an entire intelligence network dedicated to one mission, keeping you exactly where you are. But why would your own mind want to destroy you? The answer lies in a psychological principle that sounds like something from a thriller novel, enantiodromia. It's the law that states everything eventually transforms into its opposite. Your conscious mind pushes forward, desperate for success and happiness. But lurking beneath the surface, an equal and opposite force pulls you backward, toward the familiar darkness of failure and disappointment. This isn't random chaos. This is a sophisticated defense system gone rogue. Think back to your earliest memories. Somewhere in those formative years, a small child learned that being outstanding was dangerous. Maybe you were the smart kid who got picked on. Maybe you were the talented one who made others feel inadequate. Maybe you were the happy child who was told to stop being so loud, so bright, so much. That child developed a survival strategy. Stay small, stay safe, stay invisible. And that strategy became embedded so deeply in your psyche that even decades later, it's still running the show. Your unconscious mind doesn't distinguish between past and present. It doesn't care that you're now an adult with different circumstances. All it knows is that success equals danger, and its job is to protect you from that danger at all costs. So it whispers doubts in your ear. It floods your system with anxiety when opportunities arise. It creates elaborate scenarios where failure becomes inevitable. It turns your own creativity against you, transforming your greatest strengths into instruments of self-destruction. The shadow, as Carl Jung called it, is the part of yourself you've rejected and banished to the basement of your consciousness. But shadows don't disappear when you ignore them. They grow stronger, more resentful, more determined to be heard. And when they finally emerge, they don't come bearing gifts. They come bearing sabotage. That procrastination that ruins your deadlines, that's your shadow protesting the pressure to perform. That pattern of choosing the wrong partners, that's your shadow ensuring you'll never have to risk real intimacy. That tendency to quit just before you succeed, that's your shadow making sure you never have to face the terror of actually getting what you want. Because here's the thing nobody talks about. Success is terrifying. Success means change. Success means responsibility. Success means you can no longer hide behind the comfortable story of being a victim of circumstances. Success means you might have to become someone you don't recognize. And for many of us, the fear of that transformation is so overwhelming that we'd rather destroy our chances than face the unknown territory of a successful life. But there's something even more insidious at work here. Many of us are carrying around invisible shackles forged in childhood. We're programmed to believe we don't deserve good things. We're convinced that happiness is temporary, that success is for other people, that we're fundamentally flawed. These beliefs operate like malicious software, running in the background of our minds, corrupting every file we try to save. They turn our dreams into nightmares and our potential into prison sentences. The cruelest irony is that the very mechanisms designed to protect us are the ones destroying us. We handicap ourselves before the race begins, creating built-in excuses for failure. We choose chaos over peace, conflict over harmony, struggle over ease, because at least those familiar disasters feel like home. But here's where the story takes a turn. The same psychological forces that destroy us also contain the seeds of our liberation. Jung discovered that the shadow isn't just a repository of negative traits. It's also the storehouse of our unrealized potential, our untapped power, our authentic self. When we stop running from our shadow and start integrating it, something remarkable happens. The energy that was being used to sabotage us becomes available for creation. The fears that were paralyzing us become the fuel for our transformation. The very darkness we've been hiding from becomes the source of our greatest light. This integration isn't about positive thinking or willpower. It's about archaeological work in the depths of your own psyche. It's about having the courage to face the parts of yourself you've been running from for years. It's about recognizing that the enemy within isn't really your enemy at all. It's a wounded aspect of yourself that's been crying out for attention, for healing, for love. The path forward isn't about conquering your shadow or eliminating your capacity for self-sabotage. It's about understanding the deeper intelligence behind these patterns. It's about asking not, how do I stop sabotaging myself? But, what is my self-sabotage trying to protect me from? When you start listening to your symptoms instead of just trying to eliminate them, when you approach your self-defeating behaviors with curiosity instead of judgment, when you recognize that every act of self-sabotage is actually a desperate attempt at self-preservation, everything changes. The killer inside your head isn't really a killer at all. It's a frightened child, a wounded healer, a guardian angel with terrible aim. And once you understand its true nature, once you give it the recognition and integration it's been craving, it stops being your enemy and becomes your most powerful ally. The question isn't whether you have the capacity for self-sabotage. The question is whether you have the courage to transform it into self-mastery. What patterns of self-sabotage have you recognized in your own life? Share your story in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about breaking free from these invisible chains. Your vulnerability might be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. And if this exploration resonated with you, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the mysterious landscape of the human psyche.